right. I was a minute late. Hopefully not a bunch of people were waiting, but probably not. Usually takes a few minutes for people to get in anyways, so hopefully that wasn't too much of a waiting period for you. Yeah, Wrenching with Grandpa. I saw you comment on a video earlier today. Thank you for that. That was great. I don't think I've seen you before, but I'm going to have to definitely check out your stuff later today or maybe tomorrow or something. I'll get some time to do that. Yeah, like you're saying, yeah, I definitely got a lot of stuff. So this all we do is Mopar parts, me and my dad. So yeah, that's where all that stuff came from. So yeah, I'll be back in just a minute here. A little bit having problems with my computer. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I'm back. Wow, 6 people got in here when I wasn't even here. That's good. So, if anybody's new at this stuff, I do these once in a while. I put a link to the StreamYard so you can join the stream and talk about anything car related, specifically Mopar related stuff. Definitely open anything, any No Name National related stuff. Trying our best to get there. And after we get some more people in here, I do have a kind of an announcement related to that. Still not 100% finalized, but yeah. Let's see, are you collecting or looking to sell? Well, this is all we do is buying and selling. This is what we do as a living. So I'm always buying and I'm always selling. You know, obviously I got to sell for a profit or else it doesn't make sense. But in theory, yeah, I would sell pretty much everything except for some of the cars. Anything you see in that video that I didn't say this is not for sale, I would sell pretty much. There might be a couple of things in there that I like to hold on to, but other than that, you know, kind of whatever people are thinking, whatever works, you know, definitely willing to give somebody a little bit of a deal if they wanted to buy a lot of stuff. So yeah. PM me, I have a lot of Mopar friends looking for parts. Yeah, I could do that. You know, I don't just wholesale stuff out, generally speaking, but I would in theory. Like I was saying before. So So yeah, if we got a couple of people on, definitely it always helps if anybody wants to click the link in the comments and join the stream. What kind of first generation Barracuda? I don't have any first generation Barracuda stuff other than maybe a couple pieces of trim. I won't touch those cars because, and nothing against you, I'm sure it's a great car or whatever, but there are about this many people that mess around with those cars. So the parts buying and selling, there's no room on those, generally speaking. So they're decent. Everybody likes something a little different. I'm not a fan of them, but if I find something, I can let you know. I know a guy that has some stuff that you might be interested in. I'd have to check what he has. I know he has. I think he has one of those Barracudas. I think he has a Dart of the same era, that like 64 through 66 style. I don't know if that's considered first generation A body or not, but yeah. So yeah, we got a couple of people in here. Anybody wants to say anything in the comments, whatever, definitely do so. Definitely do so. And then I'm gonna keep kind of putting that link in there for anybody that wants to join. I know people are a little bit scattered, especially the No Name National group right now. I know people just got off of John Wilburn's live. Actually, he might still even be live. I don't know. And then a bunch of other stuff. I know somebody else is doing live, so I don't expect a bunch of people on tonight, but it would be cool. So yeah, let me see if I can snag a couple of people into here. It always makes it better if you can do a little talking back and forth about current projects or whatever. People don't just usually like to listen to me talk. If you want to listen to me talk, go look at one of my videos. But yeah, speaking of videos, been doing a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but a decent amount of videos lately, and been getting some traction related to that. Currently sitting, let's see, not that it really matters that much. 807 subscribers. I just hit 800 today. So that was kind of a little bit of an accomplishment. So yeah, those parts videos get a lot of attention for people that are looking for stuff. And by all means, if anybody is looking for Mopar stuff, 60s, 70s, stuff like that, let me know. Or definitely check out those videos. 4-barrel intake for 318. I probably have a factory cast iron one, but if you want any kind of performance, you'd want to get an aftermarket like a Performer, a Brock Performer, or even a older like a Edelbrock LD340, or there's a lot of options. I don't have any aftermarket aluminum intakes currently. I had a LD340, but sold that a little while ago. And 318 in 1966, like you were talking about, is that a poly 318 or is that a LA 318? Because that makes a huge difference. Because if it's a poly 318, they're going to be next to impossible to find. If it's a LA 318, you can find one anywhere. Because that's 273, 318, 340, 360. It's all the same. But if you have a poly 318, that's not going to be an easy one to find. I believe Offenhauser was one of the companies that made that style back 40 years ago. I think it was Offenhauser that made some of those 4-barrel poly intakes. But yeah, definitely look at that 318. Oh, it's from a 73. Yeah, it's a LA. Yeah, that's LA 318. The parts for that are easy to get. I myself don't have any right now, but trying to think if I know anybody that does. I don't think I know anybody that's got aftermarket stuff right now. And you would want to get an aftermarket aluminum intake for a few reasons. First of all, performance. The factory intakes really sucked. Even the 340 intakes, they're really not good. And weight wise, you ever tried to pick up a cast iron 2-barrel or 4-barrel? They're basically the same thing. They're probably within a pound of each other. You ever try to pick one of those up? They're probably 45 pounds. So versus a aluminum one is 10, something right in there, 10, maybe 15, So definitely I'd recommend going with an aluminum intake on that. Obviously you don't have to if you want it to look factory. There's plenty of 4-barrel intakes out there for that. Otherwise, I'm sure like the LD 340 was a pretty good intake from what I've been told. And if you were to grind the Edelbrock labeling off of it and do a couple little things to it, it pretty much looks like a factory intake from what I've been told. I don't do anything with small blocks. I don't know if I ever even will. I just don't mess around with small blocks in general. I've got 383s and 400s and 440s all over the place. Going to be putting a 440 into a car for the No Name Nationals race. More information on that once we get a few more people in here. That's going to be a little bit of an announcement, a little bit of an update related to that. And my plan for No Name Nationals will be changing. Trying our best to make sure we're still there. And if we're there, we're going to have a car there. But what exact car is not a guaranteed thing anymore. So just due to time, like they were saying earlier, for anybody here that follows the No Name National related news and updates and all that stuff, we have 90 days. 90 days to get a car ready to race. A lot of people are already there. A lot of people are really close to there. A lot of people have something ready within a month. But the 66 Belvedere that we were going to do, we will still do that car, but not going to make it in time for the No Name National, so we're going to go a little bit of a different route. And most of you don't know about the car. It's only been on the channel once, so it's been kind of hiding off in a corner, so it'll be a little bit of an update for you. I'll get to that later on. We're kind of just getting started here. Only been on for 14 minutes, 13 minutes because I was a little late. I pulled a John Wilbur and I was late for my own live. So yeah, 5.7 Hemi available, but not really. Yeah, I don't encourage and I don't support modern technology in a classic muscle car. I don't like it. I know the only way I would ever do a 5.7 in a classic Mopar is if I carburetor swapped it, which you can do. They make the intakes for it, and they make the, what do they call it? It's a something 6 controller, I believe. I don't know. I'm having a hard time remembering stuff like that because I don't have any stuff like that. Do I have any cars that are ready to go? No. I know of a lot of cars that are around. Like I'm not going to talk about it a bunch, but I know of where there's a 70 Coronet that's a really solid car mostly. I mean, the frame rails and everything are clean and everything, but 1/4 panel's pretty rough. The other one's really nice, but it's 1/4 panel needs to be replaced, or at least 1/4 panel skin, and then around the back window got pretty eaten up because there's a bunch of pine needles sitting on it. But I have access to a lot of cars in that kind of condition. So, any projects at my house? No. The only yeah, the only project that was a really easy project that was at my house is pending sale now. So that will be off the table for anybody wanting to do something like that for the moment, at least, until for some reason I hear something different, which I won't. Let's see, let me do something quick here. All right, so we'll see if we can get a couple of people in here. Anybody that's jumping in here, consider jumping in the stream. That would be great to have somebody else to kind of bounce stuff off of and talk about car related stuff or whatever the case. There's a link in the description. You click that, you type in your name and a couple other little things, and then it throws you on screen. We can talk back and forth or whatever the case may be. So, try and think what else I can kind of throw out there for the moment. Not a whole lot of other stuff going on. In a minute or two or three or whatever, when we get a couple people in here, I'm going to be revealing one of the, or not one of the car that will probably be at No Name Nationals. So we will get to that in a minute. It looks like there's a few people in here, but by all means, I'm going to keep putting that link in the description. I'd like to get somebody else on here to talk, so it's not just my own voice. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on here quick. Let's see, how can I do this better? Get a picture of the car. I only got one picture that's worth sharing, so I'm gonna throw that up on screen here. Now we're in the endless loop of streams. That is potentially the new No Name Nationals car. It's going to be attempted to be the No Name Nationals car. It's just about if we get a couple of things lined up or not. Not guaranteeing it, not saying we're pushing all the chips in on this or anything yet. But this would be a lot easier and a lot quicker. I have me and my dad, us, not just me, but we all have pretty much all the parts to do this car, except I don't have a windshield, but I have cars around here that I actually could pull a windshield. Otherwise, I know a guy that has a windshield. So, and then I already started down over here. I don't know if you guys see my mouse or not, but I started putting kind of the front support on. I had about to put the grill in. I mean, I got taillights, I got bucket seats, I got all kinds of stuff. So that's the little bit of announcement for the moment. Let's see here. Yeah. So I don't know what anybody thinks about that. No, Adam, it's not B7. It's B5, and somebody repainted a darker color for who knows what reason. Somebody painted a darker color and put flames on it and little pinstriping. And it's funny because they taped, it's a white stripe car, and they taped around the original stripe, and the little tiny gap between kind of the outer pinstripe and the main stripe on the Super Bs is body color, and you can see it. That's the original B5 blue still. So that's kind of a funny little thing. And you know, all the door jams, floor pans, engine bay, all that stuff is, first of all, it's all solid, and second of all, it's all the original B7. They didn't jam it or anything. So that's nice. The only non-original panel that's on it is the hood and the driver's door. So yeah, I thought it was funny that they taped around the stripe. And it's funny because I found a Super Bee emblem for the grill, and they repainted the. Long story short, they repainted the bee on the stripe a little bit darker yellow, and then I found a Super Bee emblem for the grill that is pretty nice that I put in the grill that I'm going to put in the car, but it was repainted yellow, a darker yellow. So it looks like it was from that car. I mean, who knows? There's a small chance that it actually could be. I doubt it, but you know. But yeah, and then wrenching with Grandpa. Yeah, I do. I mean, we have projects, but nothing that's like ready to drop something in or anything like that. Got excuse me. Got a 68 Cornet RT. Pretty much any project I have was in that video that you probably saw. 68 Cornet RT, 71 satellites that are kind of parts cars, but they're savable parts cars, I would say, if somebody really wanted to. I'm trying to think. And then 71 Challenger, would consider selling that. That's a really solid car, but it's all taken apart. It's in a million pieces, and I don't have a title for it. So, depending on where you are, title process might be easy. It might be difficult. But yeah, definitely would consider doing something with that as well. Yeah. Adam, you should jump in here. Front sump oil pan? No, I would not. Front sump, would that be like a C body or? I'm trying to think of what that would be for. I don't know why I'm blanking out on that. I don't know if that's truck or if that's C body or if that's something else. Yeah, if you got time, Adam, that'd be great. Otherwise, I get it. People are busy. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know what that. T. Davis, what would a front sump oil pan for a 440? What would that have come out of? I'm trying to think of what it would be, but I'm just completely blanking out. I would assume like a truck, or maybe that's a rear sump. I don't know. Oh, I want to put an 84 Ram short bed, have the 4-speed, but they have rear pans. So with doing a big block swap on an 80s Ram, you would have to change the sump location. I didn't know that. Okay, they say some vans have front sump. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like to me. I'm not sure. I don't know much about trucks or vans in general. But yeah, 440 and an 84 Ram short bed with a 4-speed, that would be a cool setup there. Yeah, that would be really cool. I had a 1988. It was nothing to brag about at all, but it was 1988 at a D250, 2-wheel drive, 3/4 ton. I mean, the thing was kind of a pig. I didn't have it for long, but that had a 318 in it, and typical small block stuff. It leaked all over the place, and I don't know. And that was a long bed. Seemed like a better idea when I got it than when it actually got home. Definitely don't really miss that truck. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Ryan, what's up?
No, Let's see. I don't know if it's me or if it's something else. I don't have audio.
Try again.
Oh, now I got you. No, I got you. I
Volume
realized
down.
my computer's been muted this whole time, apparently.
That'll do it.
I think everybody could hear me, but
Right. Yeah, I heard you a minute ago. So
okay. You have a 59 1-ton with a 400 wide block, and you love 4-speed trucks. Yeah. Yeah, 4-speed stuff, that's a new world for me. Just got that Roadrunner a while back. Still trying to figure out how to drive the thing.
I think my buddy Kyle, who is in some of the videos on my channel, I think he has a 4-speed transmission. I think there's a crack on it, and he said he doesn't really try to sell it because people want to hassle him with a crack.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody would want me to look into that, just let me know, because I can't remember the specifics. He had it kind of in the corner of his garage. He's just like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to say it's an A833, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Mark's truck he just got, I think that's a NP something 4-speed. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about the newer 4-speeds.
Yeah.
But he came over to my house with that truck, and that thing was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's cool to see that next to the Roadrunner.
Yeah, it's always cool to see all of them together. Especially when you're looking on the internet and looking at them in pictures, and when they're in person, next to each other. What year is that truck that he got? I can't remember.
76.
76.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of there's a one at the junkyard here that's it's a club cab dually. I think I sent y'all pictures one time. It was that green and white one. 75.
Okay, I think I remember that.
It was a 360, and it still has the transmission sticking in, and the axle's gone, but it looks like it'd be a kind of a fixable truck. The fiberglass, dually fenders on it was busted. But it just looks like it'd be like a cool thing to fix up and put, if you're not into the old stuff, kind of modernizing and doing the Cummins swap, because they basically put them in the body and just have like a really cool truck.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys are trying to do Cummins swaps on some of those older Dodges.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me when I years ago, the last Duster I had bought it in 2009, and it was from California. And my buddy, who happened to be out west at the time, and I called him. I said, hey, I'm looking for a Duster, and he was like from Nebraska. And I said, you got anything out there in Nebraska? He goes, well, I'm not in Nebraska right now. I'm in California, but look on Craigslist, find something, and let me know. And he had this car hauler. It was really cool. It was a 75 also. It was a mint green cab with the white under the wheel well, the kind of like the Cadillac had that body line. Yeah, the two-tone. Mm-hmm. And he had like one of those wedge beds on the back of it, so he could put like 2 or 3 cars on it.
Wow.
And it was cool because the driveway that we had when I was living at home at the time was not compatible with this thing. So we said, well, just meet us at the local Walmart. It's a huge parking lot. And so we go down there at night, and here we see this 75 Dodge rolling up. And as it got closer, it was like a Cummins. And and we rolled that thing, the car off onto one of our buddies' trailers and took it back. But it was just like cool because it sounded like brand new diesel. And I think he pulled it from like a 91 or something. But, there's all kinds of things you can do to them trucks. You can put the big block in it and small block or anything, and they're kind of like the vans and the cars.
Yeah.
They just, all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah, there's all kinds of possibilities with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just can't believe how close we're getting down to the wire with the no-name stuff.
I know, and I was actually going to ask you what kind of predetermined your decision to go with the Super Bee versus the Belvedere.
Well, a number of things. First of all, if I was to, time is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look at there's 89 days, 90 days, however you want to count it. I could say for a fact, out of those 90 days, due to a bunch of traveling we got to do, due to parts runs and delivering stuff and all over the place, out of those 90 days, I'll probably only have about 60 to work.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a point of kind of urgency to get something going. And the Belvedere needs a lot more than the Super Bee needs. And the Belvedere will still be done, but it's just going to have to probably sit to the side for the moment because I'd like to really get something there because first of all, I got a couple of races. And then with the Super Bee compared to the Belvedere, it's going to be the same engine, same transmission, everything. So it's not really going to be that much different. It'll be probably 150, 200 pounds heavier than the Belvedere, maybe 250. But to kind of compensate for that weight difference, I'm going to have a lot better wheel well to be able to actually put power to the ground with that. So it'll be a very comparable, running either car, I bet. I mean, with the same engine, same transmission, obviously. The little differences, they're not going to add up to any quantifiable numbers, really.
Well, there's always 1% more aerodynamics with the 69.
Oh, I'm sure.
It probably doesn't take over till about 120, but yeah.
I don't think it'll get there in the 8th mile.
You're right.
Yeah. But that'll be fun. And the other thing is, like I was mentioning earlier, I have everything to do the Super Bee.
Right.
I'm not
kind of a path of least resistance thing, which is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm waiting on my transmission right now. I have my torque converter I got to go pick up, but the same guy's getting the transmission. He hasn't gotten it yet. My transmission and my torque converter are ordered and everything, and it should be a really good kind of happy combination, but very streetable still. But I don't know. We'll see how things go. Even Mark offered. He was over here the other day. He offered. He's like, take my extra transmission and my torque converter and put it in there. He's like, take it out one day or buy it from me or something. He's like, I want to see that Super Bee on the road so bad.
He does like that car, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, no, I like it. It's a heck.
I don't know. 69 and 70 Super Bees, especially the 69. They're the best ones, I think.
Yeah, I like the 69 the best. I'd like to find a hood for it, like what's on the Roadrunner. A hinge style A12.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
A12.
Yeah, I like the style that the Roadrunner has though, because it's a hinge style. You don't have to take all the pins out and stuff and lift it up and out of the way to get in there, which that's not really that big of a deal. But and then that style that the Roadrunner has, it's all fiberglass, but it has all the inner structure like factory would have had, like on a steel hood or whatever. So it has very, very little flex to it. So
like a happy medium hood.
Yeah, it's a really, really good hood. And I forget the name of it, but it has still on the underside of the hood, there's a sticker of where it came from and stuff. So I'll have to look that up, because if I can get the same brand hood, if they still make them, I don't know how long ago that hood was made and put on that car. Probably not more than.
I remember years ago, one of the brands was called AAR fiberglass, and a lot of their old stuff was kind of hit and miss, but it seemed like they got really good. But then I haven't looked at fiberglass hoods or anything like that for a long time, so I don't know if they're still in the game or not.
I know AAR fiberglass is, but I know they're back ordered on everything, like everybody is pretty much.
Yeah, the sway bar for my van took from middle of February to just this past week. So.
Wow.
Yeah. and they didn't get the material until maybe 2 weeks ago. They didn't get the actual materials to bend one and press it and paint it. So crazy.
I wonder, would that be the same kind of sway bar as like a truck would have? I wonder.
No, they are different. They're actually different from different eras of vans. So you got into like 78 or 79, like the front end changed, and the bars, they start putting bars in those from the factory, but they're not compatible with 71 through 77. So like you have to get an aftermarket ADCO bar, and they technically discontinued it years ago. But like I was going on Jegs that one night back in February, and it wasn't even listed as a van. It was listed as a motorhome sway bar. And I was looking at the part number, and it's so weird because I was contacting ADCO like a year ago, and I said, "Do you still make a bar?" He goes, "Well, here's the number. It's 181." I'm like, "Okay." And then like I couldn't order it from them. Like they wouldn't take an order. And then so when I saw it on Jegs, I had 181. I'm like, well, that's it, even though it says motorhome, because they made motorhome chassis out of 300 series vans. So I thought
I was about to say the front 3 feet of it's the same.
Yeah, all the way back to just behind the seat, and that's it. So I was like, that's it. And then I ordered it, and people like in the van forums are like, well, you can't find a front bar, and guys are like putting rear bars. You can find rear bars all day long for these things. It's stupid. And some guys are putting them on. Of course, a lot of them don't even know that it causes massive understeer. But, so you got to have the front bar at least. Rear bar.
Yeah.
But I got it on, and it's great. It handles beautiful now. It's like modernized.
I was about to say that you got a pretty good difference.
Oh yeah, sway bar is always the biggest difference you can make in a car. I always think, other than like you dropping a big sunset, but it's just like you run a few bolts on there, hang the bar, and like it flattens out everything. Like whereas before you're sitting so high in this van, you're on like one of the ramps getting onto an interstate, and it's just you feel yourself just doing this right here. And I took it out after I put it on. I was being a little bit aggressive with it, and I was taking those things kind of hard. And you're just like you're like this right here, and that's it. It's like you can just feel it just stabilize. And so I'm happy with it.
I bet I would notice a big difference if I was to take the sway bar off of the Roadrunner.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
even just a factory one.
Yeah, one of my first cars was a 73 Dart. Did not have one on it, and I purchased the setup from somebody else, and I put it on one Saturday and drove it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was probably a bigger difference in that car than it was in the van. It was ridiculous. It just made it so much safer,
For sure made it feel safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good information to know, because I know like my 71 Satellite that I'm doing into a Roadrunner doesn't have a front sway bar or anything. So
it's like one of those. The one you and I talked about did not have one, but fortunately I know that there's a station wagon at the yard, and I was looking under it, and it still has drum brakes on it, but it has the sway bar and the arms on it. So I will be getting that soon.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be sweet.
Yeah.
It's always nice to be able to find stuff locally and be able to just kind of upgrade what you have.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about that today, because you go, there was a time 10 to 20 years ago that I needed, duster parts or something. I'd go up to the yards, and I would be able to get a lot of stuff, knick-knack stuff and this sort of thing. But then a lot of them just kind of dried up, and he crushed a bunch of stuff, but I found this guy a couple of years ago, and he's like a Satellites, Coronets, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of rehashed a lot of stuff I thought was just gone. But then, the sway bar and marker lights for a 71 Plymouth, they're in this yard, and so it's like, I'll grab it.
That's good, because brand new ones are like $385 a set or something.
Yeah, and my buddy had that GTX years ago. I want to say around 2008. We was at the Mopar Nationals, and he said, I need the rear one of the rear red ones for his 71. And
Mm.
he's like, "You're good with parts," and he really isn't. He's not good with parts at all. He said, "Can you go through the swap meet, see if you can find me one? I'll pay whatever they got on it." And I found the only one the entire swap meet had, at least in sight, and it was $85, and that was like 13 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, just a single red one. That was all it was, just a single.
Yeah. Hey, unfinished projects in here. And Moparnet 62. I don't know why he won't join. But yeah, I don't know. I've been doing a couple of parts videos lately, and that's been getting a lot of attention lately.
Well, definitely. I mean, parts are what drives everything. Really.
Yeah. Like I just did that. I just did that one video yesterday, and here we are, just over 24 hours later, and I don't even know what the view count is on it now. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it's like, that.
In 25 hours, it has 28 or 2.8 thousand views.
Yeah, it's about 28.
Yeah.
It's like the parts thing. There's the junkyard that do show up, but then like the internet's kind of like our modern junkyards for this old stuff because everybody's kind of moved it around and claimed it. So, the parts game is huge to the point where I even thought about my friend Kyle, who has all these cars, and he's wanting to move some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why don't we do like parts car video, and one comes out maybe every 2 weeks or something like that. However much we can handle. And so basically the premise would be the video starts, we introduce the car, what it is, what year, what options it has, basically, and then we would actually give the VIN so you can run the VIN if you have to. And just to kind of show what the car is, and if it's a salvageable car or if it's strictly a parts car. And then we just go through and point out, okay, this is good, this sheet metal's good, and these parts are still on it. So if anybody needs anything, you contact Kyle, and then Kyle would handle all the parts, and then he just basically spend his time shipping them out and then dealing with that car for a couple of weeks, and then we just release another video, and it's like, here's his next car. Does anybody need anything? That kind of stuff. So hopefully, it would just be advantageous to everybody. Everybody involved would be like, this is awesome, And so what you're doing, just kind of showing all your parts, that's big for everybody, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been getting people emailing me with a list of things they need. Some people I can help, some people I can't, but it always helps. And I can't even believe it. I mean, ever since I started doing a couple of parts videos, which I've only done 2 or 3, views and subscribers are just going way up, and I was like, maybe there's something to this.
I almost wonder if you could, because you have so much, which is awesome, but like if you could help find more people that are needing something by kind of specifying the video. Okay, we're going to look for this episode, we're going to look for all big block head parts, or up top end and bottom end, or all accessories, and then you just break it down like, I got this here and I got this here, and then somebody's like, I'm looking for that there on that video, and then they kind of like they file it down and like go through your videos and just really
well, and that's kind of what one person was telling me is like, do kind of a deep dive of each segment. Like do a segment where it's all just maybe smaller things. You put 2 or 3 things together, like you put taillights and emblems or something.
Trim and all that kind of stuff.
And then you do,
I think that'd definitely be good. Mopar Nut. He has a face.
Yeah,
he does have a face.
I do usually. No teeth though.
No teeth though.
You don't need teeth.
They can give you new ones of those if you got enough money.
Yeah, like 25, 30 grand, and that's not always the right thing to do. You could get a really bad infection, lose your jaw. There's a lot of things that can go on.
Mhm.
They don't tell you that in the commercial. They just
Yeah.
show
No.
you the pretty stuff.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Side effect may be death.
Or worse.
Yeah, worse. Or you may live.
You may live, yeah.
The thing I get a kick out of, it's like, they advertise some sort of prescription drug or medication on like a commercial on TV or whatever, and it's like, do not take this if you're allergic to this. Really? You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
say.
Yeah. I was like, how do you know if you're not allergic to it until you take it? Well, yeah. Just test it out.
It's like do not take this prescription or do not take this drug if you are allergic to it. Really?
Mm.
That's the way of the world.
Yeah. What are you doing on that charger?
Getting ready to put the trunk in.
Yeah.
I got the trunk. You can't really see it. It's in here somewhere. The brand new AMD pan. It's been sitting there for months. I haven't had the will to do it. Got a new light and everything. I can see inside. Yeah.
I'm just giving you crap, but is that your No Name Nationals 2023 car?
No way. No way, dude. No way.
You don't want any part of it, do you?
Yeah. No, I don't like it. I don't like nothing about it right now. I'm not too cool with it.
Yeah,
Well, that's all right. Everybody's got to do their thing, you know?
Well,
That's the thing.
it's getting nuts. I'll be the first to say it. It's getting nuts, the No Name National stuff.
Well, there's going to be
There's
a lot
just
of people show up with a lot of money, too. There's going to be a lot of money cars there. Watch.
There's a lot of people kind of gambling their
Yeah.
their money away, and it's like I see potential for hot heads prevailing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I can see that. I can say, hey, I won, you didn't win. Yeah, I can see that.
Some of them mixing alcohol with it or something. I don't. It's just
Yeah, the alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
And now they're bringing a mechanical bull too.
Oh, it's like Gilly. I rode the bull at Gilly's.
Oh, well, need a knee replacement. That won't work.
Yeah. You got to drive your 4-speed home and your knee's busted and you can't get out of first gear.
Right. You have to get the wife to shift for you.
Right. Yeah.
No, man. I don't want to get hurt. No. I got enough pain in my life.
Don't we all?
Hey, all I could say is about No Name Nationals. Is it better? I know it's like September 30th, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, September 30th, October 1st.
I hope it's cool that day because I'm driving the van about an hour ago out here and it's like 90 degrees at night and this thing is a dog. I mean, it's a dog when it's hot.
It's a big metal box.
Yeah, and it's a dog when it's cold. So you add heat to it. It's, no dense area.
Maybe I should have waited till they put the lights in, huh?
That's one of them blank things.
Do it. Please tell me you're not doing a marker light delete.
Nah, I'm not gonna do the mark light delete. I'm probably gonna save from here up. I'm gonna try and save all that metal, and I'm gonna cut this panel to work out over here. I'm not gonna. I like the marker lights. I really do. These are the sexiest marker lights, man. Between the 71 Roadrunner and the 71 Charger.
I prefer the Plymouths, but that's okay.
No, the Plymouths had the little 3 windows, the 3 square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were all flush. That's that's my point. They don't stick out
flush.
of the body.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. The only other alternative is to use 68s, and they still stick out the body. A little.
Yeah,
Adam, aren't you glad you won't have to do a bunch of that on that car?
Yeah. Which car?
Bunch of metal replacement. Hopefully. On the...
Charger?
Lost it.
I lost you?
I think you lost him mentally. Like you mean which car do you mean?
Which car? Yeah, that's what I'm like.
The 71.
Oh yeah. I got enough body. I got enough metal to replace. I'm gonna make the rear wells. I'm gonna probably make the rear wells for it. You know, when you put your foot in when you're sitting in the car, in the back.
I know
Oh, yeah.
nothing about replacing large bits of sheet metal. I know nothing about that.
No,
Yeah.
not good.
No. You just buy the sheet metal and put it in. That's what you do. It's
Yeah, you
easier.
just build a new car and use the actual car as a jig to put it together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's good.
I just use it to kind of hold everything together and then weld it. Yeah, I got a new car.
Yeah, it's a guide. It's a guide.
We'll say you're making awesome progress on that Duster, and I applaud you for that.
Yeah, I knew that would be the plan because I get I have to do this until I'm done. But it's like, I was going to replace all the little pieces first and then go through and put all the big panels on. But I was just looking, I'm like, if I fix this, this, and this, I can put the 4-pan in, and then it would just look way more done because it's like a lot of real estate. So I did that, and it's like, I'm kind of glad I did. I'm just like, I'll work from the inside of this car and just go out both directions anyway I feel.
Oh, and
you still have to go out to the trunk floor too, right? You got to do the trunk floor and the drop off.
Yeah, and I laid the trunk floor on top of it because one, I needed a shelf to put like drinks and tools, so I laid it in there.
Okay.
Plus, I needed it out of the floor, so I just laid it up there. And I actually kind of forgot because it covers the shackles that are all rotted back there, and I was just like, "Oh, I could probably weld that next." And I'm like, "Oh, I can't do that. I got to fix all the frame rails and all that stuff."
Yeah.
So.
You got to fix the frame rails. Oh man.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, yeah, once the trunk floor goes down, yeah, then the drop offs can go on, and then it's like quarter time, baby. It's like,
you could probably put the center part of the trunk in and then fix the springs, right?
well, I wouldn't want to do that because you need access to the top of the shackle boxes and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah,
like to get a cutting wheel in there, it's good to not have that trunk floor. You just go through and slice it and make a new piece, weld it in, and just kind of reframe it out. And then
I can't even get into my trunk. I put that together and I can't even get into it because I put everything that was going into the car in the trunk. Everything, like all the interior pieces, everything. So I'm like, okay, I can't get in there.
Not gonna happen.
Hey, Mopar Nut,
Yeah.
how big of a tire you think I could fit under that Super Bee?
Oh, pretty big. I'd say what?
I would say.
A 235? 235?
Under the rear?
245.
No, on the rear.
15. Yeah, a 245 15 would fit under there.
No, it's got 275 60-15s on it right now, and they look small.
Look at that.
You could probably go 295 on it. Easy.
Probably.
Yeah, go 275, 295, 60.
I got 275 60s on it right now, and it looks small.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, if you were close to me, you could borrow the wheels on my van because they're the Wheel Ventique 63 series, and they're the 10-inch wheels that people would have put on the Super Bees. And I think and it's got 295, and then I think they got I want to say 5-inch backspace. It's almost like perfect on that van without flares, but.
And the van's got the car wheel pattern, so it'll fit.
Yep.
Right?
4.5.
4.5 on 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a 275 60 underneath that car, Mopar Nut.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a lot of room to spare.
You just got to watch going a lot taller than you might be in the front of your wheel.
Right. But based on that,
go to an 18-inch wheel.
No 18-inch wheels.
I knew that wouldn't go.
You just did that to mess with me.
I know how you feel about it.
Well, I know you do. That's why you said it.
I think so. Yeah, I think if you get that, I wonder how big a wheel I could get under this Peabody.
Gotta like the flames. Mopar Nut, I fit a 325 60-15 underneath a 73 Charger.
Say that again. What size?
A 325 60.
Wow.
You rub the spring a little bit, but those
That's
Chargers have huge wheel well.
They do, and it was ridiculous how small of a wheel the factory put on there, like a 14-inch with like
Oh
a
yeah,
215 tire.
yeah. It's got
Equivalent to-
like a 24-inch tall tire.
I got an old set back there I could just swap out and see what it does. I got an old set on a set of Ford wheels. I have to take it off though. Won't fit on this. It might fit on this car. It might be a 4.5.
Are those Ford wheels? I thought they looked like Ranger wheels or something, but I can't. They got so much shadow on them. I can't tell.
Oh, the ones I got right now, the cop wheels.
I was about to say,
They almost look like those Ranger wheels that had the little, but the way the shadows were hitting.
That's a 6-slot. Those are heavy as hell too, man. Those wheels are heavy.
They're not as heavy. They're not as heavy as just a stamped steel wheel, are they?
Oh yeah, they are heavy, dude. These cop car
think
wheels that came off, man, they are heavy.
I think they're thicker. Aren't they a thicker steel, like in the?
Yeah, because they're meant to chase you
Oh,
down.
Yeah, they like take hit.
Off.
Yeah, to take big
that
hits.
wheel's gonna go
Take
over
more abuse.
railroad tracks, all kinds of stuff. You're not gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah, that's why I think NASCAR used them too.
Heavy, man. I was like, wow.
I know the 78 Aspen Super Coupes had them, and the petty cars, if I remember right.
I have to blast them and clean them up, and we'll use them for the dark for a little while. Then I'll go to aluminum wheel.
So what all are you really doing? What all are you really doing with that car? See, I don't know anything about it.
I'll bring it back. I only paid $1,100 for the car.
You ought to do a video on that car, just a good like all around video, because we've seen you do some stuff on it, but like, have you really showed it like kind of the inside and out of it?
No, it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. It's gonna be it's gonna be like miracle work. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worse than my Duster?
No, not as bad as the Duster. Not as bad. It's more on the outside, not the frame, not the floor so much, but more like the front A pillar has a lot of damage in it. You know where the meets the cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to rebuild that whole part there. I've done it before on a 74, and it's holding up well. The green 74 has all that repaired. You can't even tell it's been repaired. You look at it, you can't even tell.
I like when you can repair something and later you actually forget that you like repaired it. It's so like
Yep.
It just blends.
It's like, oh, I just completely forgot to do. You look at a picture, I'm like, wow, I forgot it even did that.
If you do steel, if you do everything in metal, you're doing a good job because it's gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna last a long time. I have all the spot welds knocked out of here. I don't know if you can see that, but they're all knocked out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
So I have to redo all that, and I just have to weld it. I want to weld it up and then throw it on the rotisserie. Because once I throw it on the rotisserie, I don't want nothing to move. I'll take the doors off after I get that done. I want nothing to move. I want that floor, the back floor and everything up, nice and solid. That way I can put it on the rotisserie, and I can throw the torque, the connectors on, the subframe connectors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I like the boxed ones. I really don't like the ones that go up against the floor. I really don't like using the floor as a structural part.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know, the most interesting subframe connectors I had was from Magnum Force. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they're you see, they're like two round tubes, and you have your piece that drills into the subframe or the cross frame, or torsion bar cross member, and then the other one caps around the rear foot of the subframe in the back, and then it has a little cross piece that you bolt it to the floor just to give it, I guess, makes you feel better, but it sandwiches to the floor. And I did them on that Duster. I painted them purple and put them on there. It was just like a lot of trouble getting them to send them to me. They made them and they like just would not send them to me.
Wow.
But they was cool. They fit really nice. And yeah,
they have a set for the 74. I would have liked to have gotten the 74 ones. They fit pretty well too. And you
Yeah.
have the option of welding them in too.
Yes,
You can't
you
weld
do.
them in.
Because they send them to you like bare metal, and they
Yeah.
they had a nice edge to them and all that stuff. So yeah, they
Yeah.
could weld them in real easy.
You can weld them in easy. They make some good stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't like their Magnum Force suspensions.
Yeah.
It's not a lot like the O'Reilly one, the Altercation
Mm-hmm.
for the A bodies.
It's
A lot of
not
people like
OEM, so I don't like it.
I think
know
if they could streamline the K-frames on those, they would look more like appropriate, but they look very like just very
Robotic.
fat, just very kind of
Yeah.
raw and edgy. So it's like
Yeah.
if they could kind of do a more of a stamped look in ways, I know it kind of defeats their purpose.
It would be nice to do just one car that way. They have one where it's both front and back are independent suspension.
Oh
It's
yeah,
in Mopar. I just saw it in Mopar action. I was like, wow, but you're looking at 4,000 or 5,000.
yeah.
And
That's not even having them in.
Even the QA1 stuff is getting kind of expensive too.
Yeah, QA1.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They got that one deal for the rack in the front. You ever see that where you can put a rack in the front of the car?
I'm fine with my steering.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool, but I just want one car that I could do that to. One car, and I have
Well, it's
enough
experiment.
cars to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to do. That's why I'll pick a car. I'll buy a car that nobody wants because I can do anything to it and nobody can complain. Well, that's
True.
not. It's not rare, not right. So if it's not rare, I can do whatever the hell I want to it.
Yeah. What's that orange car?
That's a Dart. That's a 72 Dart that I got for free.
You get some good deals on stuff. I'll say that.
Well, I got
Dart
it
or
for free.
Dart Sport?
No, it's a Dart. It's the guy with the little wheel wells in the back. Everybody complains can't fit anything in it. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Swinger.
Yeah, Swinger.
Yeah.
Slant 6. I should have never threw that Slant 6. Right now, if I had that Slant 6, I'd have $1,000 in my pocket. Because everybody wants them. It was a Super 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I threw it away. I tried to sell it, but everybody was like, I don't want it. There's plenty of those around. Okay, no problem. So I got fed up and I junked it.
Well, now everybody wants those in 318s because Tony, I guess. Tony's garage.
Everybody wants a goddamn Slant 6s. And I'm like, oh. I still have a Slant 6 case, though.
I've got a 318 sitting out the side of the garage. If somebody wants it, you can come and take it.
I got one sitting in here right now. I can roll it up here.
Yeah.
Another 318.
Any small block that's on my property is by accident.
Oh, yeah, that's because you're into the bin.
Yeah, Ryan doesn't have a lot of small blocks or A-body cars. So.
Got a few A-body pieces, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only A-body cars that are here are getting junked.
What do you got?
Barracuda convertibles.
What year?
67 and 68.
Are they rusty?
Yeah.
Will the lower control arm fit my 72? That should fit my. They should be the same lower control arm, right?
Probably A-body is A-body, I would assume.
Yeah.
They both have V8 K members in them.
John, do you need some regular control arms for an A-body?
Yeah, I would like to have a couple because the one I had on the one side was bent. I had to go use a different one, a 6-cylinder one.
I have a few pairs. I was going to convert them all to sway bar tab and sell them.
Yeah.
You need a pair.
I'll buy a pair from you. And I want that piece that goes to the roof too.
The weather strip rail.
The weather strip rail, yeah.
Yeah, I've got both of them out, so I was actually holding on. I knew you said something about them, so I got them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We'll talk. You got my email, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just email me and we'll talk about how much shipping and whatever you need.
Right.
I'll fix that up because I want to get that done. I'm probably I'll take them and put plates on them. I put plates on these, so when I bend these, I'll have a spare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I have a chance of bending them for sure.
I think the
don't
other
know.
reason the tires fit so good on that Super Bee is probably because it was a factory 391 gear car, so it was a high performance axle package, and it came with what the catalog thing calls Hemi suspension, so it had the stiffer leaf springs.
Mhm.
But what I don't know, and I was talking to Jed about this earlier, is I don't know, does that mean it had stiffer torsion bars as well, or would it still have the 383 torsion bars?
You can always measure them.
Oh, I'm sure, but I just wonder, when
think
it's an
so.
upgraded suspension, I would think that they would put the
The
440
spring should
torsion
have
bars.
the spring should have at least 6 leaves. They should
Yeah,
have
the
6
springs
yeah.
have more leaves. Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
should
I'm
have
sure.
the torsion bars.
I'm sure the springs are right. I just don't know if they ended up swapping the torsion bars to a 440 torsion bar when they decided to do what's called an upgraded Hemi suspension.
They should. If it's called the Hemi, it should have all the Hemi
Yeah, it
underpinnings.
would have the 440. Yeah,
I would think so,
and
but
it's got a sway bar, right?
Yep.
Has a rear sway bar.
not under it currently. I don't know if it did originally.
Yeah, I want to get a couple of those. They're getting expensive too. Fern Field's probably the most expensive for a sway bar.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
the front sway bar is still there. The front sway bar, the mounts and everything are still there, but it's just wired in currently because the sway bar links are broken or missing or whatever. So I need to get new sway bar links, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal.
What if the
I'd
sway
like-
bar is for like a 69 B body front sway bar, if they're desirable? Because there's one at the junkyard, it's in a wagon, and the wagon is literally laying on its side. And it's got, and those B bodies, the early ones mounted on the outside of the K-frame.
take the whole K-frame, man.
And then the middle of the gear, they went through the K-frame. Well, this one's got the through the K-frame. It's a better one.
Yeah, didn't they start that in 70? The through the
69.
K-frame? Late 69?
And
Pull
69.
Pull the whole
I
K-frame.
should look at the Super Bee then, because that's a March built car.
But
That
yeah,
car was built March 3rd.
and John, I would pull it. Problem is, the engine is still in it, and it's on its side, and it's up in the woods. And like you could walk up to it, so it would be a big crash. But if we could maybe get it out,
I could do it. I bet
Make for
I
good
could do it.
content.
yeah, it would make it good content.
I bet
Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah, it is literally laying on its passenger side. Where you got
Mopar Nut,
318.
I'm convinced that Mopar Nut could do almost anything if he tried hard enough.
Dude, I took a Dodge van. My buddy says to me, I have my Bronco, my 79 Bronco. I said, I need the gear ratio out of that van, right? Can you flip it for me with the loader? And he says, oh, I'm busy, man. If you can flip it yourself, we can do it. All right. I took a chain, put it on the top of the van. My Ford was pulled it over, flipped it over, and I took my parts. I took my rear.
Mhm.
It was on its,
That's
on
what-
its back.
That's what
It was
the
like a
that's
turtle
what the
on
old
its
man
back.
did. That's what the old man did at the yard. Like there's like a 67 Coronet like completely flipped on its roof. And I asked him, I said, why are so many cars out there like upside down and on their side? He said, oh, we would come along and put it on the rocker panel lit
Yeah.
on one side, and we would pull it until we rolled it over, and then we pull a rear out of it or whatever they needed underneath. And then if I didn't get a chance to flip it back over, it would just lay there and stay that way.
Yeah, if you have like a 6,000-pound vehicle, it'll easily flip over a 3,800-pound vehicle,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
especially in low gear. That's what I did.
Especially 4-wheel drive, yeah.
So this is the sway bar off the 74 Dart Sport that I'm going to put
Yeah,
on.
they got that little bend in the middle.
Yeah, they got that little bend. It's got the whole front end from the Dark Sport, including the what do you call the drag links, everything. And I'm using 13/16 tie rod is. I'm not using the smaller version, 9/16. That's 5/8.
Hmm.
I want to tighten that whole front end. I have to even put the what do you call it? The steering gear, the little piece that goes on top that controls the spool valve that controls your steering. You know how when your steering goes sideways, tries to break your
Yeah.
arm. I have to set that up too. I'm pretty sure I've got all the parts now to get the engine ready. I'm gonna probably try and save an old tank from another start and put it together and get it started.
Mhm.
Engine hasn't started in 15 years. It's been sitting for 15
Yeah.
years.
Oh, I was just thinking about something. If I follow through with, which I probably will, but if I put that 440 in the Super Bee, I forgot that's a power steering car. So I'm gonna have to deal with power steering or else convert it, but then I got to convert the steering column, and then
Yeah,
I'll just live with
it. Well, you should have a pump somewhere around the property. All those cars.
It's still on it. It's
Oh,
still
okay.
on it.
Yeah, so hook it up.
I have
'cause it hooks
I
up
have
to
brand new rebuild pumps too.
Very
Brand new
cool.
rebuilt ones.
Yeah, you might.
I have
when you
everything
start it-
to. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you might. Yeah, when you start it, it might turn to the left or right hard, and then you're gonna have to
Bleed it.
adjust that spool valve. Yeah, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
adjust the spool valve. I've got it. I can't. I don't know where the hell. I got one of them around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to. I need to do a lot of stuff, but I have everything to convert it to disc brakes, but I don't know if I want to do that right away or not. I have an entire disc brake conversion kit.
Well, if you're not gonna drive it to the N&Ns or whatever, I wouldn't do it unless you're gonna drive it there. But you're not gonna drive. You're gonna tow it, right?
Well, yeah, I want to drive it around town though.
Well, you'll be all right on drum brakes.
Yeah.
Just make sure
Well,
they're
I'm
nicely
sure, and
adjusted.
it being a Super Bee, it should have the 11-inch.
They have bigger drums.
I think it's manual brakes though, so.
Still, manual brakes work very well. Still.
Oh yeah, I know the 11-inch drums on the Roadrunner. I mean, that's power brakes, but everything on that works great. The brakes, I mean, doesn't stop quite as good as like a new truck or whatever, but it'll still get you slowed down enough.
You could always get we call the metal style shoes for it. Semi-metallic shoes.
Does that make that much of a difference?
Yes, it does. It grabs better.
Sounds like it's gonna wear out your drum faster.
That's not really not much. You don't drive that much. I don't see you driving like 50,000 miles a year on it.
No.
I don't think you could be doing that.
Well,
You're lucky if you
those,
put like 12,000.
those 11-inch drums are a lot wider too. They have a wider.
Right.
Yeah, I
They should
think
be 2.5.
I think they're. Are they 2.5?
2.5. Could be
Yeah,
3.
2.5 rather than 10-inch by 2-inch.
I think they're like 2 3/4 or something like that.
If I remember it, I could be wrong. The 10-inch drums are 10-inch by 2-inch, and the 11-inch drums are 11-inch by 2.5. I could be wrong about that though.
Somewhere. My van had power drum brakes all the way around. They was 11-inch all the way around. They was pretty wide. I kept the front drums intact just in case they did swap to a B body or whatever, and if somebody needed them. So I just kind of mothballed them because I put the disc brakes off of a 76 on there, and they are some of the best brakes I've ever had. Period. Over I've got a newer that 2010 Camaro. They got better brakes than that thing.
Wow.
It amazed me. It amazed me.
That's cool.
Because it's just you want to stop, it will stop.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Especially, I mean, lack of a better way to say it, there's a lot of idiots on the road. People like to just randomly stop in the middle of the road for no reason, it seems.
Yeah, because
I mean,
they have ABS. That's why.
You have to think it's not a bad idea. It's not unsmart to upgrade our cars at least to the best of what the factory gave them, because you got to think back in those days. a good handling car was rare. Okay, so
Mhm.
everybody else had like the non-sway bar, squishy springed, little wheeled cars.
Bias ply tires made a big difference.
Yeah, and bias ply tire. That's another thing. And then they're driving around, and they knew their limits. Like they weren't like you would have the people that would overdo it, and then they would crash into like the side of a dump truck. That's what you see on TV. But like everybody now, every car that everybody's in can out-handle like anything. So it's like then people get in a rush, and then they slide off the road because they just don't know those limits. So they just say, "Oh, I can whip in and out of traffic." And so it's good to have that on these old cars that are going to drive around with all these new cars on the road.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot of safety involved.
Yeah.
But it creates a false sense of security for those drivers. They
that's what it does
at any moment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Think, what would happen if one of the lines would blow? They don't think that. Then when that does happen, they lose all control and they end up hurting themselves. 3 or 4 times I've had cars flip in front of my road.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about inexperience and just people kind of getting ahead of themselves. Not to keep circling back, because I know I don't really want to talk about it as much as anybody else does, but that's why I do get worried a little bit about some of the No Name National stuff, myself included. There's a lot of first-time guys there. There's a lot of guys that don't 100% know how to handle if something went wrong, whether in a race or whether in the burnout contest or whether whatever,
Yeah. Well, it's like perfect for me because I'll be honest, I've never been on a track. So
yeah, me neither.
It's a good thing because I don't have any power.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, enough to move it. But it's like that's the thing. It's like okay, I'll get my idea of what it's like to just go down a track, and then let's say next year I've got a Duster to drive. I drive it, and it'll have considerably more power. Yeah. So then I can kind of dial it in mentally where we're at. I don't like to exceed like an 18-year-old would. I like to kind of, if I get through and people laugh at me for not doing it, then it's like, okay, well, at least I got everything together,
Right. It's one of those things where it's like, versus I'm kind of the opposite. I mean, I have the same complete inexperience. I've never been on a track. I don't know 100% how it works. I don't know a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff yet to be figured out in the next 3 months, But it's a little more dangerous for me because I have 500 horse and 550 torque on the other side of my foot. And that's another reason I want to do the Super B instead of the Belvederes, because I'm going to have a lot more time to test and to work with the car.
Yeah, you need to know your car, what it can do in a confined environment, because really a drag strip is kind of a confined environment.
Yeah.
It's got the walls and it's got the safety built in.
Yeah, and
so
like me and Mark.
Yeah,
and me and Mark are 25 minutes away from each other or something, and there's a couple of drag strips within a couple hours of us that we're talking about. Once he gets the Jack Pine done, and once I get the Super B done, if that goes according to plan, going together and kind of helping each other where neither of us are experienced. So definitely want to get some test runs.
First, don't put the car in first and do a burnout. Do not do that. If you're gonna run,
all right,
an automatic.
Yeah.
Now, why would that be?
Because it overruns the transmission, and your rear what do you call sprag can overrun. Yeah. That's how what do you call?
That's how they turn into a saw blade.
Yeah. That's how Don Garlett's lost his foot, part of his foot. So you don't want to have that in first. You want to have that in second, at least. You don't want to overrun that. That thing will go. I mean, in the thousands of RPM. Okay, so that's not cool.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have a blanket for it too, for the transmission.
Scatter shield.
Yeah.
We want to all leave with our we want to all leave with the same number of toes as we walked into.
Yeah, toes, arms, legs, everything, head.
You imagine where a lot of that would let go. It'd be right above your knee.
Yeah, that could really hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a bad day.
Yep.
That's why you use a bolt-in sprag on every 727 that you get your hands on. If you're rebuilding it, that's the first thing to put in it. If you're gonna be all crazy and racy, you know.
Crazy and racy, huh?
Yeah, well, dude, I've done 360s, 180s. I've had a place to do that. I had a friend's junkyard to go out there and drive and go do all that crazy shit. So I understand how to control my car, but you know anything can happen. You're going 100 miles an hour, a little slick piece of road can hurt you.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that they're talking about. That was the other thing they're talking about. Jeffers Motorsports Park. They're saying that that's one of the best prepped, stickiest tracks, and that'll help a lot of people. Apparently, you know.
And nobody's going to be allowed to run water, right? You can't run water.
Antifreeze.
Yeah, you can't run antifreeze.
So does that mean when I get up there, I have to drain it out off the track and put water in?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
to run the track,
yeah. I would think so.
Take me some bottles and drain it and put water in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they do that.
Yeah, not that it really would matter that time of year. I would highly doubt that it would get below freezing, but
yeah, it won't happen that way. But the track is more important because the antifreeze is like driving on ice, So I've done my 360s. I don't need to do any more.
Yeah, I bet. That's
guys. I'm gonna jump off here and spend a little time with family before they go to bed. So.
Yeah, no problem. We'll see you later on then, Adam.
Yeah, we'll be working on the Duster tomorrow and have a video up soon. So y'all take care. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see you.
All right, later on.
And then there were two.
Now you're stuck with me.
Oh, you know, I'm leaving.
Oh, don't make me say it.
Oh, he's not going to show up. You know how many other car shows are on right now? How many lives?
Oh, I think there's a few.
You got Dust Devils live on. Mm-hmm. You got Two Hacks is on with somebody else. I can't remember right now. Don, I guess. And No Name National sponsor. So, hey.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of people on. And there's a bunch of other lives.
Oh, geez. Everybody is over at Dust Devil. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm saying. Everybody's over at Dust Devil. So.
Jeez.
And I think there's a couple more lives going on.
Yeah.
That's the way that thing goes.
Yeah, right.
And you know they get pretty nuts over there, so they talk about anything.
Oh, there's no filter.
No filter, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going non-filtered.
There are 36 people watching that live.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Huh? So you sell any parts when you did that video?
I've gotten a couple. As far as like people talking about stuff, you know. And that's the biggest thing is I get people I get people that want stuff or whatever, and then I tell them price whatever, and then they just like disappear. I'm like, you know, if you don't want it, that's fine, but tell me.
A lot of people don't want to pay the price. That's the problem. A lot of people don't want. They've been spoiled by cheap Chinese parts. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
I just got a set of mufflers. Right, they're supposed to be Purple Hornies. Right, where are they made? China.
Oh, I'm sure.
See, so there you go. You know, and when they look at you, they look at a part or lens. Oh, it's $40-$50 for this lens. They're like, oh my God, that's so much money. Well, I don't want to build it, then go somewhere else. When
Yeah.
that same part could be hundreds of dollars in the catalog. You know that.
Oh,
You don't even want to think about buying a 71 Charger bumper.
They're not too bad.
The brand new ones? No, I think
They're like $350 each, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, I would like them to come up with a non-chrome version because there's some people who want to either do them in paint. Okay, if you have to dechrome them, it's very hard to find somebody in the United States to dechrome them.
Well, and it's like, and they could afford to do it not chrome and at a cheaper price.
Right, and I can get it cheaper. And I bet you they'd sell a lot more if they were not chromed. Now, some cars you're going to have chrome. You know, some people are going to love the chrome. Me, I'm going to go color key bumpers on this, and I'm going to do the regular bumpers I got. I'm going to acid etch them, which works great. That works great, but it's not as good as if I had bare metal.
Right.
If I had bare metal, I could do an even better job.
What color are you going to paint it back? Are you going to go black blue?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to blue metallic. That's all I'm saying. Oh, blue metallic.
You don't have to say it, but is it B5?
No, blue metallic. Never that color. Never that other color, because you can't find that color, apparently.
He's not in here, Mopar Nut. You're fine.
I had that other one. I had a white 70 Charger. Too bad I got rid of that, too. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You don't think about it back then because they were plentiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad's first car was a 69 Charger RT.
Yeah, see? They were plentiful back then. Cheap.
Yeah. Funny, he went to have the car painted or to order the paint. And he stood at the counter and flipped a coin between B5 blue and Hemi orange. Guess which one it landed on?
B5.
Nope, Hemi orange.
Ah. Yeah, the Hemi's pretty good. It looks pretty good. The color's not bad.
Yeah.
I like orange. Dart's going to be an orange color, a solid, not a metallic.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
You know, I thought
you see the nose.
Mark's truck is a solid color. I thought it was a metallic, but it's actually a solid.
Doesn't it have a fender tag somewhere on the cowl?
I don't know. It might.
It should.
It's hard to tell because people have painted over it with this, like, the way he described it, red oxide primer, which that's what it looks like pretty much. But it's a solid orange color. It's actually a pretty nice color. It looks like if you were to take like burnt orange, take all the metallic of it and lighten it 1 or 2 shades. It's kind of like it's like Hemi orange with no metallic, and you were to drop a little bit of copper into it. It's kind of an interesting color. But yeah, I think he should paint that thing, but I know he kind of wants to leave it kind of ratty like it is.
Well, ratty's okay too, but I should do my Ram Charger. I should start doing that and finish that up. And I was going to do it's already copper. It already has copper color. I got to go full copper on it.
Yeah.
You know, because they like to do two-tone. They can do the center copper and the top another color.
Is that like an 80s?
Fords. Yeah, like in the 80s.
Okay.
The Fords would go red and white, silver and white, blue and silver, and colors like that. I just like to do one solid color. I'm gonna get rid of all the trim work. I could probably sell the trim work.
Yeah, probably.
I got all the trim work for it. If somebody wants, because it'll fit their other truck. It'll even fit a pickup. Certain pieces fit pickups.
Yeah, I mean, it would fit a short bed.
Mm-hmm. It would fit a short bed, and the ones who aren't long enough, the ones in the front, all fit this thing. So
Yeah,
it'd be great.
from the
That
doors forward, it's the same.
it's the same. Yeah, exactly. They're exactly the same. I was
Yeah.
thinking of making a 4-door since I
Oh
have
yeah.
two. Cut my other one and splice it to this one and do a 4-door because nobody makes a 4-door Ram Charger.
No.
Then you have to lengthen the frame.
Yeah, probably.
It's kind of hard now because now everybody wants $2,000 for a piece of crap Ram Charger.
Right.
A rusty piece of crap, they want $2,000. I'm like, dude,
Oh yeah.
does it start? No. Does it have an engine? No. Does it have a tranny? No. You still want $2,000? Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, I want 2,000, and it's all that stuff you just mentioned, and I want to keep the seats out of it.
yeah, I want to keep the seats. Yeah, I forgot about the seats. Yeah, that's too. That would be cool though. Nobody makes one though.
Yeah. No, that'd be a cool project.
I've seen it done to the Bronco.
Yeah, I would
Bronco's
imagine.
been done that way.
There's a lot more Bronco guys than there are Ram Charger guys.
Oh yeah, the Bronco's much more popular.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
It was been around for I think longer.
yeah.
They first started out that small Bronco, then they went to the '79, then they went to the '80s version.
Yeah, and then
Now
they
just reintroduced the new one, which is a piece of crap.
yeah. Another thing that's kind of popular is those international scouts.
I used to work on one of those too.
I got
one of those to work
I got a
on.
mint condition tailgate for one of those.
Wow. I'm pretty sure the kid got rid of that guy by now.
Mhm.
Yeah, people start things and they don't finish them.
Yeah.
So I did the whole rewiring of one. I had to rewire the whole truck because it was that bad. They had it that nothing worked. The taillights, nothing.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's
That doesn't sound fun.
Oh yeah, not so bad. It's pretty simple. It's not like today's cars.
Yeah.
Today's cars, forget it. There's a Ram, 2005 Ram. I still can't fix the taillights on it.
Oh yeah.
It's not worth it because what you got to get involved in is about 15 different wires for 2 taillights. 15 wires for 2 taillights. I'm like, whoa, let's just make them work, and then we'll leave it at that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've got a 03 Ram, and so does my dad. So.
Well, the only solution is to pull the bed and buy the complete rear harness, and that's like around $1,500 for that harness from the dealer.
Yikes.
From the dealer, that's the problem. Getting it from the dealer kills you. That's the only way to fix it right because the way they have it wired, somebody fixed the one driver's side light. They soldered into it and they screwed it up.
Mm.
And now it works fine as long as you don't have a trailer hooked up.
Yeah.
You put a trailer on it, and the trailer only has one brake light. Has everything else, turn signal, stop, everything else, but only one brake light. So when you try to run the wire to get the other brake light, all the lights go out.
Yeah.
So it's in the harness that goes to the main fuse box. And that's a nightmare.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. We were pulling a trailer, and we hooked it up, and we couldn't get any lights to work on the trailer. The lights on the truck work fine. But we went into the fuse box, and there's a blown fuse. Put a fuse in it.
Yep.
Trailer lights came right back on.
Right back on. Yep. Yep. And if
Something must
something
have
happens
shorted.
to that box, if that box is corroded inside, you can't replace anything in that box. You have to replace the complete box. And
That's a lot of wiring.
And it's another thing with the Charger. There's the 06, the 08, 012, all those Chargers have the same system. You have to replace the complete thing. You can't replace one relay or one wire. You could get in there and do a little soldering, but then how well it gets done, some people have had success, but most people will just say hell with it and get another box.
Yeah.
But they're designed not to be repaired. They're designed for you to go here's give me $1,000 box. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's what they're designed for. So that's why you won't ever see me buy a new truck. I won't buy it.
I'm not buying a new anything.
I'd rather have Bigfoot's truck as a tow truck than any other truck.
That thing's cool, but I think it needs more power.
Well, that's easy. That's an easy one to do.
Well, it's going to need more power if he wants to pull the jack pine on a trailer.
He could put a 360 in there. You know,
Well, he's
nice
got
high
that.
compression.
He's got that 76 440 at my house.
The 76 440 would be cool.
It's got 906 heads on it.
Mm-hmm.
He has a cam he was thinking about putting it in, but now he's thinking,
How far are the pistons stand in the hole?
I don't know. I haven't had the heads off. I should pull one off to look.
Look at the compression. Yeah, that's what I like to find out. If you can, you could maybe run a Whiplash camshaft from Hughes.
Well, the cam he has is the one that was in the jack pine originally. He doesn't know the duration specs because they're not marked on the cam anywhere. There's no like number. I don't know if it was a custom grind or whatever. But it's 510 lift.
That's not too bad.
It would wake up that engine.
I still would like to know how much compression is on that engine. If
Yeah.
it's a really low compression engine, it needs a better cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to fill. What I've been reading about it is you want to be able to fill the cylinder as much as possible.
Yeah.
You won't need as much, lift, but you need enough time for that cylinder to fill completely, so you can build
duration.
pressure.
Yeah.
So you can fool the engine into thinking it's a high compression engine.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're doing. Because I got a low compression 440, and that's what I'm going to probably end up getting. It's cherry inside. You can still see the crosshatch from machining. So I was just going to get a Whiplash, about $500-$600 for the kit, and put that in, and just drive that. That'd be fine. Work fine in a 74 Charger. Another 74 Charger.
Yeah. As if one isn't enough.
Nah, one's not enough. If they give them for free, what are you supposed to do? Say no?
Yeah, I had that 73. That was a cool car.
And the thing that pisses me off, you see Bigfoot's truck? There was somebody giving away that same truck, okay?
Mhm.
But it was in pieces. And I turned it down because I thought, it would be too much to put it back together again. But that whole truck, it was just in boxes.
Oh,
All you do is go over there, roll the frame on the trailer, put the body panels on, the bed on, and then throw the boxes on the trailer, and you leave.
yeah.
And I should have got that damn truck. So that's an easy big block. It's easy big block. Those trucks are easy to do on a big block.
Oh yeah.
The later trucks are harder because, they
never
blocks. Work. Yeah, they never work. They
weren't designed for one.
Right. I need to use the front case off of a 727 and put the guts out of a 4-wheel drive transmission in that, and then use that big block case in my Ram Charger, and that way I can throw a 440 in it. I can say goodbye to the gas mileage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a factor.
That's the thing. Right now it's getting 13 to 15, depending how I drive, right? That's pretty good, considering it's a truck,
Oh yeah.
Now when it's towing, you're lucky if you get 10.
Yeah.
When it's towing, you get 10 miles to the gallon. That's the way it is.
Yeah. But even today, that's not that bad.
No, not that bad, really. 10 miles to the gallon. Towing something like, 8,000 pounds I was towing. So.
Right. It's like my dad's 2003 Ram 3/4 ton with a 5.7 Hemi gets 12 when it's pulling.
Yeah, and that's got overdrive.
Yeah.
So you got all that extra stuff, and it's only getting you 2 more miles to the gallon. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, think about it. Yeah. It's probably got a .69 overdrive. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
it's usually about .69, .60, something like that.
Yeah.
So it should get you better, but it don't.
No,
That,
12, maybe 13. When it's pulling like a car.
right. But when you get into town, it even makes it worse because you're stopping and going.
Yep.
See? That's the thing.
But I mean, like driving it on the highway unloaded, going 65, 70 something miles an hour, then it'll get 15, maybe more.
People I know that own Bumblebees, they never got better than 13, no matter what.
Oh, I bet.
No way. The Rumblebee, I'm like, but dude, take your foot out of it. He goes, no, I can't do that.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everywhere he went, all you heard was squealing wheels, squealing tires everywhere.
Oh yeah.
The same thing with the Lightning when the 90s Lightning came out.
Oh, I heard about those. Yeah.
Oh man, those people were. Oh, I hated those drivers. Gotta have super. I make sure it's super. I'm like, dude, you're getting super. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated them people. The Dodge guys weren't that picky. They were like, give me 87.
Yeah.
87. All right, no problem. Well, some of the Ford guys don't want no 87. That's how it is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really should have took that truck.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I would have. But
rolling?
yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I get kind of cutting it earlier tonight, but I got to be up early in the morning and got a bunch of crap to do. And
Cool. Yeah, I gotta get.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle.
You should really do a couple of videos on that thing. I think some people would like to see it.
I'll think about it. I got a couple more. I got some shit I gotta do on models this a couple of days. I got a couple of friends that I gotta give shout outs to.
Yeah, real quick, related to model stuff. Man, I came across this guy on Instagram, whenever he messaged me about parts, and I looked at his page thing, and he does like model cars and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. You do like model cars for people, like based off their cars or whatever? He said, yeah, you want one done? I was like, well, maybe, I think about it. Something like that. And I didn't realize how much some of those guys charge for something like that. And maybe this is a lot. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But this guy said, yeah, I'll build it to whatever kind of specs you want, within my capabilities as far as like a stock reproduction of your car. Yeah, it'll be about $350 or $400. I'm like, really?
Yeah, really.
Huh.
Now, that car, the white car, the Belvedere you're building.
Yeah.
Go on Summit and go look at that Belvedere and see if that will fit your bill. They have a 1/18 scale Belvedere in there. I think it's a Belvedere or a GTX. And it's already either silver or white. And I think it's 139.
Wow.
139. So check that out. If you can get the decals done and all that, I can repaint that body and do it the way you want to look like.
Yeah.
Like that.
I just thought it was interesting that, a guy can. I mean, he does this stuff all the time. Apparently, it's like $350 for a model car.
There's people that charge $1,000 for a freaking build.
Jeez.
No shit, man. And then airplane armor guys, complete dioramas can run to $2,000.
Yeah.
Of course, they're gonna be works of art though. When you look at them, you're gonna look at them hour after hour and go, look, that's something new. I didn't see that before. I mean, some of these guys, they add so much detail, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna roll, man.
I'm gonna call it, but I'll talk to you soon then.
All right, cool. Later.
Thanks.